I'm on the 5th day in March Mystery Madness, and I want to kind of share where I'm at reading wise. So after I finished reading Cocaine Blues, I went ahead and started Murder in Old Bombay by Nev March. Elizabeth put a reading schedule up on Goodreads. Now, I never, ever can follow reading schedules. I just can't. I'm just like one of those people, like, you can't, like, I can't do this. It never works. Either I'm really into the book and I keep going, or not so much. But I went ahead just in case and put tabs to correspond with each of the weeks that something is, however much is done. I think that the first week is all the way to chapter 12, but I put it on 13 because that's the official stopping. But right now I am on chapter 5, The Victims, which is about 20 pages in, and I need to get to page 57 before the end of the week, which I think is this week or next. I need to go back and look at that. I think it's this week. But what am I thinking about this book while I am 20 pages in? So there's really, per the synopsis, it has to do with this captain who is in convalescence a bit at the beginning of the book in the hospital, recovering from an incident. You know, it's war. But while he's going through this, he receives a newspaper that addresses this crime that took place on this university campus where 2 women fell off of a clock tower. The suspicion is that it was murder. The suspicion is that it's suicide, but he is much more inflamed to believe that it is actually murder. And because of his loving and yearnings to be like Sherlock Holmes, he begins to take on this mission of solving this crime and really correcting this paper in terms of it labeling this situation as a suicide. So he gets in contact with the editor of the paper to get more details, and then he gets in contact with the actual husband and the daughter. I want to say the husband of it's the wife and daughter duo that died. So there's the husband and then his daughter. There's the wife and then his daughter. Okay, I got that part right. And then he also gets in contact with the husband / father's father. Whew, it's a lot. It's kind of a lot. And that's kind of just where I'm at right now. So what are my feelings about this book right now? My feelings about this book are kind of on shaky ground. The primary thing that is not working really well for me is a combination of 2 things. One, the book moves a little bit too fast, kind of, to me, a little bit too breakneck speed. Just like with any mystery, at the beginning, I need as many details as possible, though I don't want them to be a hindrance, but I need a little bit more details as to what's going on. Specifically, details that help illustrate the overall tone and picture of this particular story, both in Bombay, India, as well as the characters themselves and the setup. It's just kind of moving a little bit too fast, and I feel like it's trudging along real quickly. And so next to that is the character himself, our Captain Jim. I'm not going to pronounce that last name, which I learned he's part Indian and part English or white. This character himself, I think that another thing that's not working well for me is this. He's not drawn well enough for me yet to actually want to be attached to him throughout this journey. There's almost this instantaneous hunger for him to solve the crime, and it is preceding his development as a character. You know, it's like I like his backstory, but I'm trying to figure out why is it that I should want to invest myself as a reader in following him through this story. I'm not attached to him yet. It's almost like the whole what he desires, what he is motivated about, what is motivated for overshadows himself. there still is a lot of details and nuggets of information about this character that I want to receive. And because the book is moving so fast, it's like we're automatically launched into the investigation portion instead of slowly bringing the reader down to ground as to, okay, this is why you want to stick with this guy. You know, little anecdotal information is just not enough for me. You know, being given that he's a captain, lies in the Puna military hospital. It moves. It's moving way too fast. It's like kind of slow down just a little bit, Charlie boy, and let me really connect with this character. So that's kind of the only thing. But the only thing that I can do, that I think I can do, is just keep reading. So we'll keep. That's all we can do is keep reading. And because it is on a schedule, maybe I can just work with the schedule and get it done. But Murder in Old Bombay, we'll see what it gives. The funny thing is that although I am reading this book, as I'm reading it, and as I'm telling myself, you know, I kind of don't really want to spend time with this character. Not quite yet. I'm not really ready to be attached to him. I'm not feeling him all the way yet. I am hungering so severely for an Amelia Peabody book. It was just what I thought was going to happen, is that this book was going to really push me to go into my old Victorian, famous Amelia Peabody books by Elizabeth Peters. So I'm thinking on this glorious Saturday night that I'm gonna go ahead and move into the book Guardian of the Horizon by Elizabeth Peters. I really want to read this book. This is what I want to read right now. This may just be it. I picked up all the books that I have left in the series, which is only 5 books. And this is it. This is the complete series. And the reason I'm holding it up like this is because this book actually takes place after, the events in this book takes place after the 9th book. But this is technically, publication-wise, it is I think the 14th or the 15th book published. So it's going back in the past. So I put them all in order now, in chronological order as it refers to the actual timeline. So this was the last book ever published, and this was the penultimate one. But as you can see, this is the one I'm on now, and then we have 2 more. So this is 1908, this is 1910, this is 1912, this is 1921, and then the series concludes in 1922, which is, what his name is, but I can't read right there, which is Tomb of the Golden Bird. But publication-wise, this one came first, this one came second, this one third, that one fourth, and of course this one fifth, as the last 5 books within the series. So I arranged them in order from the actual timeline, and I really want to just go ahead and get started with Horizon. I really, really do. Like, Old Bombay, it's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting kind of hecky. Is that the right word? Did that song say? It's getting there. It's gonna take a little bit more. It's gonna take a little bit more juice and enthusiasm. But I noticed I haven't picked this book up in over a day. That's an alarm bell for me. So I'm hoping that this book juices me up and get me back into reading regularly again. So that is kind of really where I'm at with March Mystery Madness. As I said, I'm going to take this thing day or week by week and see what happens. I ain't rushing a thing. I'm going to take my time, and if I don't do anything, well, I doubt I won't read a book, but still, nonetheless, whatever. But let me tell y'all what I really want to read. I have been hungering for whatever reason, I have been hungering to read Bleak House by Charles Dickens. I've been hungering to read that. And I know at one point I mentioned The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. This is the actual copy that I bought for myself. I've mentioned this last year. I haven't read it yet. I want to. But this mug right here looks so good, baby. Oh my gosh, I want to read this. I was talking another YouTuber. We know her as Kate, booktuber Kate. You know, Kate does a lot of Victorian books, and she left a comment, and I was like, them Victorian books, they be the ones that be hitting. I'm sorry. The Victorian mysteries, they're the ones that be hitting. The Victorians and the Golden Age, they the ones they be hitting. They hit. They hit, baby. They hit. The ones that was actually published then, not going back to it. They be the ones that hit for me. So we'll see. We'll see. But I really want to read Bleak House. I went to the bookstore yesterday after rolling around the city and stuff. I went to a con, so that was one thing. It had some nasty barbecue, child, from this place. But I went to a bookstore and they didn't have it. They didn't have Bleak House. I was like, what? I thought that this was something that any bookstore would have, but they didn't have Bleak House. So I might have to order it online. But for whatever reason, it's a book that I've always been in the back burner of my brain. But for whatever reason, I'm hankering for it. So we'll see. I'm trying to be on a book buying band. But I don't know about that. Bye.